What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word? Hummingbird. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, Season 4, The Tell All Part 3. So let's get started with Chris and Jamie. So Chris is telling us that she confronted her ex-boyfriend, the one that was sending nude pictures and intimate pictures of him and Chris together. And she said that she went to his house and she confronted him face to face. She said she took his phone and she broke it. Now, I know that she's trying to, make herself look like someone who, takes control of the issue and doesn't play around. But the fact that you took this man's phone and threw it on the ground and broke it, that's kind of scary. And it shows that you do have, violent tendencies. And so if this story is true, I don't think it was a really good look for you, Chris. So Chris's mom comes out and she said that she thought Jamie was looking for a sugar mama. The mom thought this because whenever Chris sent money to Jamie, it was through the mom's PayPal. Why didn't Chris have her own PayPal? Does she not have a bank account? Oh, because she kept talking about having a bank account that closed. Maybe that's why she went through her mom's PayPal, but I don't know. So the mom says, well, I know that she was sending Jamie a lot of money because she was using my PayPal. And Chris says that she had spent like $10,000 on Jamie and their life together in Colombia. Jamie denies all of this. Jamie keeps on insisting that Chris spent no more than $2,000 on her. And so Chris wants Jamie to acknowledge that everything she did it for her. And Jamie's not going to acknowledge that because all of that is negated. Whatever she did for Jamie is absolutely negated with the fact that Chris would disappear on her. They had just gotten married. Okay. Chris arrives in Colombia, they get married, and 3 months later, she's out, she's gone, and she's gone for 5 months. Then she came back, and then she left again. So regardless of what Chris thinks she did for Jamie, I don't think Jamie is going to give her a round of applause for doing these things because Jamie wanted her wife around. She wanted Chris there with her by her side. They had just gotten married when Chris left again. So yeah, if you're waiting for her to acknowledge anything that you did, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. Now, Debbie steps in and says that it was always Chris that was working. She says, I never saw Jamie work, not one day. Well, but Debbie, don't you remember Jamie saying that she didn't have papers to work in Colombia, that she herself was an immigrant to Colombia and she didn't have papers to be able to work in Colombia? That's what I thought Jamie had said, and that's why she wasn't working. So they asked Chris, do you have any last words for Jamie? And Chris says she did not. They asked Jamie the same thing, and Jamie said that she's really worried about Chris's mental health. Now, my final thoughts on Chris and Jamie. There was something going on with Chris. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but there was something going on with Chris. Debbie had said in an interview that the cast members were told by the producers to not be too hard on Chris because Chris was in a very fragile emotional state. She was very vulnerable at the reunion. And so the producers had told everybody, don't go too hard on her. That's what Debbie said. Other cast members denied. I think it was Danielle. Danielle denied being told that. She says, we weren't told to do or not do anything. We could have said and we could have done anything we wanted. But that's what Debbie said. And they really didn't ride Chris too hard. But anyways, back to my final thoughts. I don't know what's going on with Chris. I don't know. There's rumors circulating on the internet that she's got some type of a substance abuse issue, that she's an addict of something. I don't know if that's what it is. Her behavior to me was strange throughout. The strangest thing of all was the fact that she would constantly disappear on Jamie. I never understood why she was doing that. And then when Jamie would not hear from her and she would start to move on with her life, then Chris will materialize again and, oh, you're cheating on me. You're cheating on me. Okay, but you were gone for 55 months. What do you want me to do? So I don't know what's going on with Chris. There was a huge mystery that surrounded her that I knew that if we knew exactly what the real issue with Chris was, then I think this Chris and Jamie situation would make a little bit more sense, but it made no sense to me. Moving on to Nicole and Mahmoud. So Mahmoud's brother Ahmed comes out to join them, and the brother says that the reason why they argue all the time is because they don't really know anything about each other. That I can agree with. I think that Nicole and Mahmoud rushed into marriage before they really got to know each other, and this is the reason why they're having so many issues, because they're learning about each other, and neither one of them really wants to back down. Neither one of them wants to be the bigger person. They're both extremely stubborn. And so as long as they're both are as headstrong as they are, this relationship is going to continue to be toxic. So they showed the clip of their really big argument when they had taken their argument out. This is when they went to the pool, and then they got into an argument, and they were arguing all the way outside on the street, almost getting ran over by cars. And then they showed that clip, and they showed the scene where they were arguing, and Nicole, I think, had put her hand on him to push him away from her, and then he grabbed her hand, and he was like, "Don't you do this to me," or something like that. So when they asked Nicole, how does that make you feel watching that? Nicole said that there were some things that she took personally that she should not have. What? What does that mean? I didn't understand what she meant by that. I didn't get it at all. So then here comes Danielle. Okay, here comes 2 feet tall Danielle. She comes in there and she says that, she sees a lot of similarities, or she compares herself to Nicole and her relationship to Nicole and Mahmoud's relationship. And I think she's trying to show that they both have very controlling men. But Danielle, I don't get you either. You're a mystery to me as well, because the only one controlling in your relationship is you. So maybe you need to compare yourself to Mahmoud, but you can't compare yourself to Nicole. I don't understand why she keeps comparing herself to Nicole. So then they talk about Mahmoud's phone and the text messages that Nicole had found on his phone. And Nicole said that the conversation started off very businesslike, but then it ventured off into inappropriateness. They were having like a private conversation, and things were said that Nicole deemed to be inappropriate from a man who is married. So when they're talking about this whole situation about the text messages, Mahmoud and his brother Ahmed are giggling, and everybody on stage is like, "What's so funny? This isn't funny. What's so funny?" Now, I think the reason why they were giggling, I think it was sort of like embarrassing for Mahmoud. I think that it was like a nervous laughter, but I also think that Mahmoud was trying to hook up with this girl. I do think that. And I think the reason why him and his brother were laughing about this is because when Mahmoud was communicating with this girl from China, and we know that Ahmed is married to a Chinese woman, I think they probably had like these inside jokes like amongst brothers. Like maybe Mahmoud had said, "Well, if it doesn't work out with Nicole, I'm going to get a Chinese wife like you." I think they were remembering their little jokes and stuff about Mahmoud's conversation with this girl in China. I think that's what was making them giggle. I think they shared a lot of jokes about this. I think that Mahmoud was being a little bit flirtatious with this girl in China. I think that's the reason why they were laughing. Anyways, so Gabe doesn't really see it from Mahmoud, and so he tells Mahmoud, "I think you're scummy." And I was like, okay, Gabe. Okay, I wonder how they translated that word scummy to Egyptian or Arabic. I'm really curious how that word was translated. And Gabe says, "Words from my wife. Mahmoud has everything in a man that I wouldn't want, and you're never going to change." Okay, that's why he's not married to Isabel. He's married to Nicole. And Gabe's advice to Nicole is, I think you should get a divorce. Gabe tells Nicole also that she should find a person with the same beliefs as hers. Yes, that's what we all think. That's what we all believe, that they both need to be with people that share the same beliefs, because the biggest thing between Mahmoud and Nicole is the culture. It's the culture, it's the religion, it's the standards of the culture. That's the biggest thing between them. So it would make a lot of sense for them to go their separate ways. But these people are addicted to one another. You know how you have that couple, and I'm not implying that Mahmoud or Nicole drink. I'm not implying that at all. Disclaimer, I am not saying that Mahmoud and Nicole are drinkers or that they're alcoholics or anything like that. But they kind of remind me of that couple that will drink together, get into these horrible, vicious fights and arguments, and then the next day when they sobered up, everything is is lovey-dovey. You see them walking down the street together, hand in hand. They're canoodling. They're all over each other again. They remind me of that couple. There's something, I don't know. They have like this toxic addiction to one another. They argue, they call each other names, they say the most horrible things to one another. And then like 5 minutes later, after they've calmed down, it's back to, oh, my love this and my love that. So there's something going on with this relationship that I don't agree with, but they're going to hit rock bottom. This relationship, they're going to hit rock bottom before they go their separate ways. Gabe tells, okay, so the question was, to Mahmoud, when you come to the U.S., will her clothing be an issue? And Mahmoud says that he's going to continue to tell his wife to cover up because nobody should see his wife's body other than him. So he's always going to continue to push for her to be more modest. And Nicole says that she's going to dress how I want her. She's not going to listen to any of that. And Mahmoud said, even though I'm going to push her to be more modest, she's going to end up doing what she wants anyway. And then somebody asked Nicole, oh, it was Jamie. Jamie asked Nicole, but if you practice Islam, why do you dress like that? If you are an Islamic woman or you're practicing Islam. And she says, I don't really she says, I'm going to dress how I want to dress. I'm going to do what I want. I really don't give a damn about none of that. So what tenets of Islam are you actually following, Nicole? She considers herself that she still practices the religion of Islam. So what tenets are you following of Islam? If it's not, to be more modest, then what are you following? I don't understand. I don't get it. Anyways. So Gabe says, so then Gabe asked Nicole if Gabe asked Nicole if Mahmoud had apologized, and Nicole had said, yes, he did apologize to me. So we're done with them. So Nicole and Mahmoud, I think that when Mahmoud comes to the United States and they start living together on a daily basis and they're in each other's face day in and day out, because it's going to be a while for him to start working, et cetera, et cetera. I think that it's going to get physical between these two people. I think that the way that they'll argue is so bad that it's going to end up getting physical and somebody's going to end up in jail. And there's not going to be family there to intervene. So I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to be living alone and they're going to be around each other day and night, and Mahmoud is still going to push this whole thing about her being modest, and she's going to push back with, I don't have to do a damn thing, this relationship is going to get even more toxic. And I think somebody's going to end up going to jail, because I think it's going to get physical. Moving on to Gabe and Isabel. So the sister Monica comes out. She looked gorgeous. Okay. That green dress on Monica and that hair and her fake dimples, she looked absolutely gorgeous. Now, I call her dimples fake because I've seen videos on TikTok of how they make fake dimples, and they look just like that. They're like these perfect little squares that are always there, even when you're not moving your lips or moving your cheeks in any way. The dimples are right there, and they look just like those fake dimples. Anyways, moving on. So they talk about does Gabe and his sister Monica, do they talk every day? Gabe said, yes, we talk all the time. And Nicole was like, no, we don't. And Gabe said something about, we're always sending each other memes. And Nicole was like, Monica was like, oh, that's not us talking. So they have a very strange sibling relationship, Gabe and his sister Monica, because they're like, I don't know why they have a hard time handling tough subjects. But well, Monica says that Gabe is not confrontational. He does not like to confront people. He doesn't like confrontation at all. So I'm like thinking to myself, so it's either a confrontation or nothing at all. You can't have a simple conversation. So then Gabe says that he doesn't know why he doesn't know why Monica never came to his wedding. And so Sean says, y'all never talked about why Monica didn't come to the wedding? And they both were like, no, we never really talked about it. How could y'all not talk about that? The whole purpose of Monica even coming to Colombia was to attend this damn wedding. She didn't attend the wedding, and y'all never had a conversation about that. Monica said that she didn't come to the wedding because Gabe had said that she was the common denominator in all of his failed relationships, and that had hurt her feelings. And Gabe denied this. Gabe says, I never said that you were the cause of my failed relationships. I said that you were always complaining about the people that I dated. You always had something negative to say about the people that I dated. related. And I thought Gabe did say that the common denominator in all of his failed relationships was Monica. I thought he had said that during the season. Then the question was to Monica, so you couldn't just like suck it up and just attend your brother's wedding for support. Then Monica says, well, I was getting ready, but then I started bawling, and so I didn't want to show up like that. I thought she had made up her mind that she wasn't going to go to the wedding, and now she blames it on, I wanted to go, but because I was crying so hard, I didn't want to show up in that state to my brother's wedding. So which is it, Monica? Were you planning to go, but you didn't go, or you never planned to go at all? I'm confused. So they asked her, well, do you wish that you would have attended? And she says, well, obviously I wish I would have, but and even Isabel has said that she felt bad that Monica wasn't there. And Monica said, so then they talk about how, Monica was supposed to walk Gabe down the aisle, and Isabel's mother had made a bridesmaid's dress for Monica because she was going to be part of the bridesmaids. She was going to be a bridesmaid. And Monica says, none of this was ever told to me. They never told me what the color theme was. That's why I was going to wear this green dress, because that was the dress that she was going to wear to the wedding. They never told her about the color theme. They never told her that there was a bridesmaid's dress for her, that she was going to be part of the bridal party on Isabel's side. They never told her that she was going to be walking Gabe down the aisle. And I do believe that they did not communicate this to her. I do believe it. I think they wanted to surprise her, but she never came around to know that. I think they were trying to surprise her. So she missed her brother's wedding, which might be the only wedding he ever has, and she's always going to have that regret, and she's always going to carry that guilt of not attending her brother's wedding because she was just too stubborn to suck it up, swallow her damn pride, and be there for her brother, no matter what they've gone through. And so they talk about how Isabel is working on a visa to come to the United States to visit Gabe's family. So we shall see. So then they have a short break. Now, during the break, Jen starts crying because, Rishi's mom had called her old again, and she keeps on calling her old. And this makes Jen feel some type of way. So she gets Rishi on the phone, and she tells Rishi, well, your mom needs to stop calling me old all the damn time. And the next time she calls me old, it's going to be over between me and you. And I'm thinking to myself, Jen, sweetheart, don't take this stuff personally. Girl, please don't take this personally. She just wants some damn grandbabies from her son. That's all it is. She just wants grandbabies. Now, can we agree or not agree that you're past your childbearing years? She's not trying to be offensive. She just wants a grandbaby. She wants her son to be with a woman who can always give him the potential of having children. That's all that is, girl. And so Rishi says that he's going to talk to his mom about it. And everybody backstage had nothing good to say about Rishi. They talked about how he didn't treat Jen right, and Jen needs to move on, and this isn't the guy for her. But then when they get back on stage and they see Rishi crying, all of a sudden, the atmosphere changed, and they were feeling sorry for Rishi as well. So Jen says that she's second guessing her relationship with Rishi because the mom thinks that she's an old maid and, past her prime and, one step away from being in a nursing home. And Debbie says, well, maybe he can try to defy his mother in a really tactful way. Defiance is defiance, no matter how pretty you make it, no matter how much you sugarcoat it. Defiance is defiance. You can do what Sumit did and basically take the risk of being disowned to go live with Jen. You can just do what Sumit and Jenny did. I don't know why he can't do that. Anyways, so they tell also maybe if he kind of sells the idea that if he's with Jen, it's going to be a financial benefit for the mom. Maybe if he tells his mom that, hey, this can work out for everybody. Me and Jen can be together, and somehow or another he's going to be able to get more money and send it to his mom and to help take care of her. I think Rishi makes decent money, I guess, on his own because he's a model. I think he's also an attorney. So maybe the money angle won't work for her. Maybe the money that he's already using to support his family is more than enough for the mother. So he really can't use that. I don't know. Because the next thing we find out is, before we get there. So the question was, where does the relationship stand? And Jen says that she has no idea, and she doesn't know if this is something that they can get past. From what I'm seeing, I don't think that he's going to defy his family. I don't think Rishi's going to defy his family. I think that The problem is, he might be the only man in the mother's life. I don't think his father is around. I don't know if his father passed away. So she doesn't have a male figure to lean on. Her brother also looks like, he can't really do much. So for him to defy his family and to choose Jen over his family would basically mean like he won't be able to take care of his mom anymore. So because his mom isn't going to let him have it both ways, where you're going to be with Jen and still be a part of this family. I don't think his mom is going to do that, because his mom is never going to accept Jenny. What's her name? Jen. His mom isn't going to accept Jen. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I think that Jen needs to go about her business and leave Rishi alone. It is just too stressful. It is way too stressful. She needs to just let him go. And she might, because we find out that she got Debbie's son's phone number, Julian. She got Julian's phone number. She got them digits, y'all. So I don't really see Jen and Julian together, but stranger things have happened. I thought Jen was a little bit too open-minded and liberal for a person like Julian. And Julian, is from a small town in Mississippi or Alabama or wherever the hell they're from. And I don't really see them together. But like I said, stranger things have happened. Gabe tells Jen during the break that Rishi is not the one for her. Everybody has said this. Every single person, her friends, his family, his astrologer, the stars, the people on the show, everybody's telling Jen that Rishi is not the one for you. And I don't think he is. I don't think he's ready to commit to her. I think he's just going to string her along for years, until she just can't take it anymore. So she needs to let him go now, because I don't see him, whether it's for his family or not. I don't see him proposing or not proposing. I don't see him, like marrying Jen. I don't see that happening. I think he's too much of a playboy. I think he's too conceited. I think he's all about Rishi. I think he's too selfish. I don't think he's ever going to be ready to get married to anyone, let alone to Jen. Moving on to Danielle and Johan. So Danielle says that the root of their problems is communication. Johan agrees. He's like, yes, we have a problem with communication, and we also have a problem with trust on both sides. Now, as far as where does their marriage stand? And Danielle says that they're still together, even though the last episode she was talking about, she was telling him, I'm done, I'm through with you. They're still together. And she says that she says things out of anger. Nobody should take her seriously whenever she threatens to leave Johan. Then they showed the clip of the whole birthday thing at the birthday dinner. They showed the clip of her telling him about, I want to go meet Talon, and then the birthday dinner when he didn't thank her. They show all of that. So Danielle was crying, and they asked her, how did she feel after watching that? And she says, well, it just shows. Oh, no, she says, I saw how cold he can be, because he didn't thank her and he was extremely rude to Talon. And she says that she felt humiliated in front of his family. And Johan, the question was, Johan, why didn't you thank Danielle at the birthday dinner? And Johan said what he's always said, because the day before my birthday, she's telling me that she wants to go meet up with her ex. And she made it seem like it was, life or death, that she had to be with her ex. She didn't care what I thought or what I said. And she made seeing her ex a huge priority. And she's telling me this the day before my birthday. That's why I didn't think. So Danielle says that one had nothing to do with the other. Girl, are you dumb? Are you dumb, Danielle? You ruined his birthday. So why would he thank you at his birthday dinner when you're talking about how desperately you need to see your ex-boyfriend? And he's not over that. He's still trying to process that. He's still trying to figure out, why the hell is my wife telling me that she has to go see this other man the day before my birthday? So when he got up there and thanked his family and thanked everybody under the sun but you, it was because he was pissed at you, Danielle. One had everything to do with the other. Danielle. So then they asked her the question. They asked her the question, well, what if he wanted to see his ex? How would you feel? Of course, she's going to say, oh, I would love it. I would love it. I'd invite her to the birthday party. Of course, she's going to say that because she doesn't want to look like a damn hypocrite. Then she says, how she's never met his exes, that she's never met, the majority of his friends. She's only seen like two of his friends. And she goes, it seems like, he just dropped right out of the sky because I know nothing of his past. Because y'all rushed into this. You met a guy at a resort and then you married him and you knew nothing about him. And now you're having all these problems and all these issues because you didn't want to take the time to get to know this man. So, yeah, of course you don't know his history, his past, all of his friends and whatever else because y'all rushed into this. You practically married a stranger. So then Gabe says, you're the one that's always telling him what to do. He asked you to do this one thing, to not see your ex, and you couldn't even do that for him. Then they bring out Talon. So Talon, he greets Johan, and then they pan the camera to Johan, and they're, we're waiting to see if he's going to respond to Talon's greeting, and all we got was crickets on that side. So Talon says that there are no romantic feelings between him and Nicole, and I'll call BS. I call absolute BS because I put myself in their shoes. I'm a married woman. I've been married, damn near 20 years. And I think to myself, if I could ever form this mouth, these lips to tell that man, I think I'm going to go have dinner with my ex and I want you to join us. I know how my husband is. I know exactly how he is. And that would not fly. That would not fly. It would not fly. And the only reason that I would even want to even say such a thing to my husband, it would have to be because I would still have feelings for my ex. I don't believe that Danielle and Talon do not have feelings for one another. I don't believe that for a second. I really don't. I think that she wanted Johan to be comfortable with Talon so that anytime she wanted, she could just be like, okay, Johan, I'm going to go meet Talon. Okay, Johan, me and Talon are meeting up for dinner. Okay, Johan, Talon's coming to pick me up. I think that's why she wanted Johan to meet him so bad, so that he could be comfortable around him and they can carry on an affair right under his nose. And he would know any better because he's like, oh, I trust my wife because she told me that there's nothing going on over there. Yeah, I think that's what they wanted, to carry on the two of them right under Johan's nose. And I think Johan sniffed that out early. He was like, yeah, I'm not buying for that. I'm not falling for that. Hell no, I don't want you to go see your ex-boyfriend. And you want me to come to hell no. But it ended up happening anyway. So Talon says that there are no romantic feelings between him and Danielle. Johan doesn't feel comfortable at all because they asked Johan, how do you feel about the fact that Talon and Danielle are in the same city? He says he didn't like it. Then Johan says that Danielle still keeps pictures of Talon. Now, I thought this was a very gray area because then Danielle came back and said, it's not like I keep them in a picture frame all over my house. I have a drawer full of old photographs and there are pictures of me and him in that drawer because I keep photos from every aspect of my life ever since I was a child. Okay, fine. Now, if she had pictures of other exes as well, then it wouldn't be a big deal. But if Talon is the only ex that she has pictures of amongst this, drawer full of photographs, then yeah, that'd be a little bit concerning. But we never really got to know if it was just Talon's pictures that she kept from her romantic past or if she kept pictures from with other ex-boyfriends as well. So Johan says that he didn't like how Danielle would make fun of him to Talon because she called him a little boy. She emasculated him once again. Not with Talon, but directly to his face. She has called, Johan her wife. And she's done a whole bunch of stuff to make this man feel as small as she is. So Johan says that bringing Talon into their relationship only made things worse. And he says that he doesn't see her as a person to love or respect. And he warned her. As soon as she brought up Talon's name for the very first time, he warned her. He said to her, if you are going to go see this person, you're going to see some changes in this relationship. He warned her. He told her that she was going to have to suffer the consequences. Consequencia. He said that to her. There's going to be consequencias if you go see this man. And he kept his word. So what's going on? Why are we shocked? So Danielle says that she can't change the past. So what am I going to do? I can't change the past. Right. We get that. You don't have a time machine. But now you're realizing, because it seems like to me Danielle was, especially when everybody on stage or some of the people on stage were beginning to agree with Johan, I think she was feeling like, you know what, it really wasn't worth it. You know, this whole talent thing really wasn't worth it. I think she deeply, deeply regrets pushing talent on Johan. So Johan says that once the lease is up, they're going to go their separate ways, honey. He's going to be out of there. He says, I don't have the same love for her anymore. The cast says, oh, it's fixable. Don't give up on your marriage, etc., etc. Y'all don't understand men. Y'all must not understand men. Men are very territorial with their women. Right or wrong, men are very territorial with their women. And then when a woman starts shouting some other man's name, you know, and keeps on bringing up this name over and over, I got to go see Talon. He's my best friend. I need to go see Talon. Talon. Yeah, he's going to be thinking, okay, what the hell's going on here? And the funny thing is, Talon did not commit his life to you, Danielle. Johan committed his life to you, but still you want to make Talon a priority. So Danielle knows. I feel like even though people around her were saying, oh, it's fixable, he doesn't mean it, he's just talking out of anger, I think Danielle knew that her husband was serious. She may not know much about Johan, but I think she knows when he's, you know, dead serious. So they talk about money, and he claims that he gives her money and they split everything down the middle. She denies it. Johan says that he gives her, because in the beginning of their segment, they asked them to rate their marriage, 0 to 10 or 1 to 10. And of course they were like, it depends on the day. Sometimes it's a 10, sometimes it's a 2, sometimes a -5. It depends on what they're going through. So now at this point, Johan says he gives his relationship a big fat 0. And Danielle is like, well, maybe if we go to therapy. And Johan's like, I ain't going to no damn therapy. You got me twisted. No, I'm not doing that. So then Talon says that Johan needs to allow her to have both male and female friends. Once a freaking again, it's not about her having male or female friends. It was about her telling this man on the day or the day before his birthday that she wanted to meet up with her ex. A man that she was having an intimate relationship with. Okay. It's not like Johan, I haven't heard him say, I mean, it might bother him, but I haven't heard him say she cannot have male friends. He specifically said he did not want her talking to her ex, a man that she has slept with. So moving on from there, that was basically it. That was the end of the damn show. After the show, Danielle says that there's hope for her and Johan. If they go to therapy, she still wants to hang on to her marriage. Chris says that she will never talk to Jamie ever again in life. And Debbie said that seeing Osama was really strange. She says he looked like a corpse or a mugshot. And she said that she hasn't closed the door on Osama just yet because he was her best friend in her darkest time. So I guess we're going to be seeing them again in 90 Day Fiance The Other Way season 5. Keep a lookout for them, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate the time that you spend over here with me. And on your way out, please do not forget to rate the video. And if you like this content, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.